the CCP, the United Nations, Council of 13, the Masons, Illuminati, Royal Order of Jesters, Skull and Bones, and the Gates and Rockefeller Foundation. Hey, New World Order! We're coming for you, never forgot 9/11, and we studied your moves. We got your blueprints down, now you're bound to lose. And look us in the eyes when we tighten that noose. Snap, America's coming back for vengeance. Pushed us to the fences, this time's offensive. Snake strikes defensive, so tread on that. Our people went off course, we led them back. So united we stand, divided they fall. Just a torso, no legs and arms. Heads on spikes, all global is gone. It's either that or enslaved with a chip in our arm. Know your enemy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the America First Warehouse. I'm Stephen Ruth, your host for Know Your Enemies podcast number 62, episode number 62. My co-host James Justice is in Washington, D.C. covering the J6 Memorial. And I'm sure he's getting a lot of video and footage for the next show. And maybe we'll even have some for this show. We'll see. But this show, we will be talking about the capture of Nicolas Maduro by Donald Trump and the Trump administration. So, yeah, I'm sure that it's got to be a big shock to those people in Venezuela that their president was kidnapped. They should know that our president and our administration specializes in trafficking of human beings. So, therefore, it shouldn't have been a very big feat to go and capture their president. I wonder what's going to happen with that country now. I think Russia and China are trying to run to their aid, and it should be interesting to see what happens with Russia and China rushing over to the aid of Venezuela to try and aid their military in defending themselves. I don't think it's going to happen at this point. I was saying about 2 weeks ago that we should have taken that territory already, and I got a ton of resistance on social media saying, oh, no, we have to make them conform to their sanctions or so forth. But I guess Donald Trump saw it the way I did and saw that it was urgent that we take the territory and the president. So I hope that we're actually controlling the land, not just kidnapping the president, but very interesting times we're living in. I think we have something here. We have some footage of the actual kidnapping of President Nicolas Maduro. Do we have that in our assets?
Last night, on the order of the President of the United States, and in support of a request from the Department of Justice, the United States military conducted an apprehension mission in Caracas, Venezuela, to bring to justice two indicted persons, Nicolas and Cecilia Maduro.
Nicolas Maduro had his chance until he didn't. He effed around and he found out.
This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history.
Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now, if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences. And, if he says he's serious about something, he means it. But don't play games. Don't play games with this president's in office, because it's not going to turn out well.
I mean, I like how tough Marco Rubio was acting, but when it comes to Netanyahu, he's not very tough, is he? Also, I was kind of happy to see that the person that seems to be stepping up and taking the presidency over in Venezuela is not the Zionist that we were anticipating. So that is a good thing, that we don't see another Zionist taking the control over Venezuela, although we will keep you posted on that one. The airports, we have digital cage being constructed around us right now, and that's another thing that we were supposed to talk about today. And a digital cage being constructed around us, and in our assets here, if you could bring up the video describing some of the facial recognition and the digital cage being constructed around us without our consent. Alrighty. I'm trying to play the asset showing the digital cage being constructed around us with the facial recognition and so forth in airports, stadiums, city streets. All right, you don't have that asset, huh? Okay. What about data brokers selling our information across government? They're not listed. The first asset was the one with Nicolas Maduro being captured, and the second asset would have been the digital facial recognition and so forth. How many assets do you have? So then it would be asset number 2. I don't know. I can't hear anything, so yeah, that's not helping me at all. What about asset number 3? What do you have for asset number 3? What does it say? Does it have any video included with asset number 3? All right, well, I guess play the asset, and we'll try and catch up to it.
NGOs, you hear the term all the time, and in fact, the deeper you look into almost any news story, especially one that pertains to the destruction of Western civilization in the United States, you find something called an NGO at the bottom of the story. NGO stands for non-governmental organization, but paradoxically, NGOs feel like a parallel government to me. You've done a lot of research on this. I don't think this topic's talked about enough, so I'm just going to stand back and let you explain what an NGO is, where they came from, and what role they occupy in the modern West.
NGOs are the stem cell of the government's central nervous system. They are this highly flexible tool, just like a stem cell can transform into any of the 220 different cell types in the human body, and they self-renew, and they can generate all these new neurons. That is really... You can't disentangle or really separate the government from the non-governmental organizations.
All right, basically what he's saying is that our government's being run by NGOs and foreign interests that are influencing our politicians and our foreign, basically our foreign aid, where all this money's going, and also our conflicts, the wars that we're fighting on behalf of other countries. And I'm pretty sure that's what he's talking about in that. And shadow powers, foreign interests, writing policies, and verbatim lawmaking. They're making laws based on what NGOs are asking them to, rather than what is in the best interest of our citizens. What do you got for the next asset? Oh, yeah, pull that up if you have that. We have a Chinese patriot arrested.
Yeah, she comes and so says the nastiest stuff you can imagine. Uh-oh. Chinese patriot! Chinese patriot! Relax. You fucking demon! You evil fucking demon! All right. Oh my God. We got a cat fight, guys! Cat fight! Yeah! There goes the bullhorn! We rebuke you in the name of Jesus! Jesus is king!
All right. Didn't seem too interesting to me, but just so everyone knows where I stand with the Islamophobia, I am not in favor of all this Islamophobia. We know what happened with 9/11. We know what happened with the USS Liberty. We're not being lied to anymore. Same thing with JFK. We know who's been pulling off these assassinations, like Charlie Kirk, JFK, and the USS Liberty and the Trade Center. We know what's going on. So we don't really want to entertain any of the Islamophobia on my end. I don't get into that at all. I have no Islamophobia. And I think that it's all just a push by foreign governments to get our social media and all our networks to pump Islamophobia, to shed maybe a better light on what happened and what continues to happen over in Palestine with the genociding of Palestinians. And I also think that a lot of our decision-making in our government is controlled by Israel. And I'm pretty sure a lot of my followers and people that watch what's going on feel the same exact way, that our government is being completely controlled by Israel. But we'll see. I mean, I know Donald Trump's talking about taking Greenland next. We'll see. I just learned that Greenland is a territory of Denmark, so it should be interesting. I don't really have any opinion on taking Greenland, or just like I didn't really have too much of an opinion on taking Venezuela. I try to keep my opinions to myself. Most of my people, they really can't handle my opinions. They just it's all red or blue to them, and it's not really. There's been a lot of talk about how the talking points of the left and the talking points of the right have become the same. So when you have the talking points of the left and the right being the same, basically you have an us and them scenario where it's government and we the people, and that's where I think we are right now. I don't really feel that there's too much of a left and a right anymore, and those who are pumping the Islamophobia or doing things like that really are just trying to continue the same old narrative, and they're being influenced to do so. I don't believe in any of that. So we have 1 minute before commercial. I guess that's basically it. We'll see what happens with Nicolas Maduro. I don't know that he's going to get good legal representation. He probably needs to reach out to me, and I could have my legal team help him out, because I can't imagine him getting better legal representation than the legal representation that I had with William J. Keon and the offices of David Raimondo and Associates. So at the Raimondo law firm. But yeah, I would highly recommend Nicolas Maduro get in touch with me for a legal defense. Otherwise, I guess you're going to be shit out of luck. So how many more seconds here until break? 24 seconds, 23 seconds. So yeah, it should be interesting. We'll see what happens with Nicolas Maduro in court. I think they said that he just claimed to be a decent man that was in power and kidnapped out of his country, and that's what it may look like to some, but other people think that he's a narco-terrorist, and it should be interesting. We'll see.
Most people think they have options when searching for the best deals when they travel. But here's the shocking truth. 100% of the major travel agencies are owned by just two entities, Expedia and Booking Holdings. They claim to offer the lowest rates, but due to the hotel rate parity agreement, they all have the same pricing, limiting genuine competition. When you book through these sites, you act as your own travel agent, but the profits are going to organizations that don't support our patriot values. We cannot allow that to continue. So, we decided to make travel great again by starting a US-based travel membership platform, mypatriottravel.com. We are patriots helping patriots. Together, we can disrupt the travel industry by not spending our hard-earned dollars supporting the radical left. For just $29.99 per month, you gain access to true wholesale rates on travel, saving you on average 35% and up to 65%. Book as often as you like, with no limits. Keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket and spend them on things you need and want to support. Go to mypatriottravel.com/TAFW and grab your membership today. mypatriottravel.com/TAFW. Making travel great again.
Hey, fellow patriots, it's Cindy Gross here, host of Right for America, from your favorite place, the America First Warehouse. You've seen me show on my show so many products from this country's #1 most patriotic manufacturer with close to 400 products. You need to exchange the products you use in your house to this company and make your dollars count in our country.
I'm sure you guys remember the platinum single Justice for All with Donald Trump and the J6 Prison Choir. Well, get ready for round 2. We're coming out with Anthem of the Free with High Res and the J6 Prison Choir. It's coming out now. It's pre-sale until December 19th when it drops. Get yours on all platforms, Google Play, Apple iTunes. Get it. It's going to be hot.
Justice for all, our voices ring. The anthem of the free.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for the sea, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the America First Warehouse with myself, and we have James Justice zooming in.
What's up, everybody?
James is out in Washington, D.C., out at the Ashley Babbitt Memorial and the J6 prisoner. I guess it's a reuniting of some of the prisoners there, too, as a memorial, right?
Yeah. So right now, a lot of patriots descended on Washington, D.C. for the 5th annual memorial for Ashley Babbitt. And all the J6ers that got pardoned under Trump came to D.C. Not everybody. There's like 1,500 people that were pardoned. But a good amount of people are out here right now in D.C. and coming together, showing love. And we had a beautiful memorial today. A lot of footage is up on the Facebook. I was running a live feed up on there. So if you could head over to Facebook, go James Justice. I have all the footage you need for the last 3 days. It's awesome. I mean, the unity and patriotism that we've been seeing out here is just absolutely incredible. The police did a wonderful job. We had a permit to be on the Capitol ground, well, not on the Capitol grounds, but like on the outskirts of it. It was a permitted protest or, memorial that was completely legal. So the police did an outstanding job of keeping all the protesters away from, disrupting the service and all the people that were there. So there was no scuffles, aside from one little scuffle that broke out. And if you guys have been following me, there's a lady in D.C. They have when all the J6ers were incarcerated, they had something called the Freedom Corner. And there was a group of people that would go outside of the jail and they would have prayer vigils every single night, whether rain, sleet, hail, whatever the weather was. They were out there, dedicated patriots, to show the supporters in the gulag that they're there for them. And there was these protesters that would show up, and one of them had like this death metal heavy scream. She was just absolutely ridiculous, and she ended up getting into a scuffle with a Chinese patriot out there, and it was pretty nuts. But let's take a look at this press swarm that was going on. You can pull that video up, and I'll show you what the press was looking like wrapped around this whole place. It was pretty crazy.
We got a going on over here.
A lot of press there.
To the site in a little bit. And
so shout out to all the J6ers, man. I've been hanging out with a lot of these guys. And I was outside the jail when they started getting released after Trump signed the pardons. And what a powerful moment. What a powerful moment. But I do have a clip of the little scuffle that broke out. I gotta give you guys the raw footage. So let's run this clip of the Chinese patriot. Shout out to you. She might be still in the jail. We got people working on figuring out what the hell's going on with her. But, she went up against this lady, and let's roll the clip. Let's see. So the girl in the middle with the bullhorn is the screamer.
Yeah, she comes and so says the nastiest stuff you can imagine. Chinese patriot! Chinese patriot! Relax! You fucking demon! You
They were going at it.
Oh my God.
Were they hot?
We got a cat fight, guys. Cat fight.
Yeah, she was a patriot, man. She was a patriot taking down a goblin. That was pretty awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. So shout out to the Chinese patriot right there, Chinese American patriot, and the girl that was yelling through her bullhorn ended up getting her bullhorn smashed by somebody. We don't know who it was, but somebody.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. So it's been a good time out here, and a lot of people are becoming reunited for the first time since coming out of jail and being pardoned, because everybody's from all across the country, and there's a lot of support and good stuff going on out here in Washington, D.C. And believe it or not, because of the high National Guard presence that we have out here, there's like no crime. The protesters are gone, Antifa's gone, there's no resistance. I mean, there's a couple of weirdos walking around, but that's about it. Like, nothing the way it was when I came here in 2016 for the first inauguration of President Donald Trump.
It was dangerous.
And, it was crazy. The Capitol Police were funneling the supporters into Antifa crowds of like 500 deep, and they were blocking off the roads.
Oh no, I remember. They were like sending them in harm's way. Just for entertainment. I remember the D.C. police were totally corrupt, totally sending patriots in harm's way, just because they themselves were fucking animal pieces of shit.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
You know? And they were the ones that they caused the whole thing with J6 by shooting at the heads of people with flash grenades and everything else, and stun, whatever. They were the beanbags. Come back.
And, they used the patriots to try to make them look like terrorists to the entire nation, when these are the God-fearing, constitutional-loving patriots that are the backbone of this nation, that are ready to step up and defend, the Constitution and our way of life and freedom by any means necessary. But we're not violent. Like, if we were violent as the American people, there would be a problem, right? But we're not. We're peaceful. The demonstration we did today for the Memorial Ashley Babbitt, there were no altercations. There was no nothing. Everything went smooth, and it was just unity and love through everybody. So that's what we need to see with the American people.
Once again, people need to understand first and foremost that no law enforcement were killed that day. No law enforcement were killed that day. On January 6th.
Wait till you see the footage I got. I have a lot of stuff. It's going to be up on Rumble probably in a couple days. I got a lot of footage I got to go through. But I have the officer that killed, Roseanne Boylan on tape. He's still free, walking around, and beat her over the head with a nightstick. And walking around, smiling, making jokes about the incident when people are calling him out on it, which is absolutely disgusting. And, but justice is coming. We didn't forget. We never will forget. And shout out to all the, veterans out there that didn't get to make it to D.C., but we love and support each and every one of you. You guys are the backbone of this nation, and we're going to continue to fight for the restoration of our republic.
Amen to that.
Hell yeah.
So I hear Donald Trump saying that we need to keep the House of Representatives controlled with Republicans, otherwise the Democrats are going to find a way to impeach him.
Well, put it like this. If we lose the House or the Senate, right, we need both. We need to maintain both and gain seats on both sides. And if we don't do that, then we're going to have a lame duck president that's not going to be able to fulfill anything, no matter what goes on, because he's always going to be tied up in these like fictitious scandals that they like to throw out to try to like put a cog in the wheel to slow him down in his administration.
What do you think about Steve Bannon saying that he's gonna run for a third term and he's gonna be in for a third term?
Well, you're going to have some constitutional scholars look into that and make sure. I mean, it says that, a president can't run 3 consecutive terms, but there was a gap in between and there was cheating done, and we can basically prove it with the Dominion voting systems and all the geolocations of all the ballot drop harvesters and all this stuff. So it's only a matter of time till all this stuff comes out. And once it does, it's going to be like a supercharge to the American people because we're done with corruption. We're done with being sold out. It's serve and protect, not harass and collect, and we're done with that garbage. And
what about AIPAC?
Yeah.
What do you think about AIPAC? Do they need to register as a foreign lobbyist?
100% they do. 100% they do. They have way too much persuasion going on in D.C. Basically, 99% of our politicians on the Republican side are bought and paid for, right? They went and kissed the wall. And, listen, man, we need to put America first. And that's why you're seeing such a rapid rise of the movement. Jake Lang opened up a PAC, the America First movement. Not Jake Lang.
Nick Fuentes.
Twitter guy. Nick Fuentes. He opened up a PAC for America First, and, he speaks a lot of, like you say, controversial things, but a lot of times he makes sense, and if it's going to be an America First movement, we have to stick with that. And America First means Constitution first. And when you step outside the Constitution and line your own pockets, treason applies, hang them high, let them dry. That's what the type of attitude the American people need to have to gain any type of sense back into our government.
Yeah, buddy. I agree 1,000%. And I agree with what Nick Fuentes says. Get the fuck out of our country.
Yeah. I mean, I was with Jake Lang, and he's like a legend right now, right? I don't think anybody in the history of the planet ever slapped bacon on the Quran. Like in the history of the planet.
I get that, but I don't feel that the Muslim people are the threat. I really don't. I don't feel that they're not buying our politicians.
Yeah,
we're not fighting wars on behalf of Muslim countries.
Yeah, you have peaceful Muslims and you have extremist Muslims.
Just hear me out. Are we fighting any wars ever on behalf of Muslim countries?
What's up?
Are we ever going to war on behalf of a Muslim country?
Oh, no. That's not heard of.
All right, exactly. Do we find that Muslim PACs are buying our politicians?
No, not at all.
Exactly. So I don't believe
the other way around.
I don't believe that the beef that Jake Lang is picking with the Muslim people is really a correctly placed beef. It should be placed with AIPAC.
No, it's both, because you have the extremists on the other side that want to conquer America, right? They don't want this to be a Christian nation. They're like, we're going to turn this into Islam, right? And the mosques popping up everywhere is a problem in the country, right? There's more mosques being built than there are churches. That's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, that's a problem. So if we end up losing being a Christian nation down the road, then is there ever a way to get it back? Like, are people going to come save us from other countries that are Christians and come to America and fight to get it back to a Christian nation? That's not going to happen. So while we have a Christian nation that's kind of diluted and watered down, we need to filter it out and concentrate it back to being a Christian nation, because those are the principles that we had that got us this far to begin with.
We're not going to have a war to keep it Christian. We're just going to keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If there's no confrontation, they're not causing a confrontation, then we're just going to keep on keeping on.
You guys are gonna have some guests on there. I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna see you on the next episode. Sorry if this one was a little rocky, the assets and everything that I was supposed to work on. I'm like doing a million things down here, so don't worry about it. I'll be back, and we'll straighten everything out.
All right. So do we know if we have those guests in queue?
Noticed your money just doesn't stretch like it used to? Your paycheck feels lighter, and your savings aren't growing. The culprits? Inflation and increased money supply. They've both been quietly eating away at your purchasing power for years. Today, the dollar's value has dropped significantly. You feel it every time you spend money on goods and services. Back in 1965, $1 or an ounce of silver could buy you a gallon of milk. Fast forward to today. That same dollar barely buys a couple of coffee creamers, while an ounce of silver would get you 8 gallons of milk. Gold and silver have held their value for centuries. If you had 2,500 ounces of silver back in 1965, you could buy a brand new Ford Mustang. Today, 2,500 ounces of silver would buy you 2 Mustangs. Similarly, in the year 2000, 628 ounces of gold would buy a new $170,000 home. Today, 628 ounces would buy you a $2,500,000 home. The problem? 95% of Americans don't own physical gold or silver. They think think it's too complicated and too expensive, but it doesn't have to be. We offer a membership program that allows you to buy gold or silver with as little as $1. You can buy fractional amounts, safely vault them, or have them delivered to your doorstep, and you can liquidate them whenever you want at the highest buyback price in the industry. Ready to protect your wealth and keep your purchasing power? Scan the QR code or go to tafw.soundmoney.com to learn more.
If the vote count is accurate, then how come the number of voters is different? And if it's not accurate, then why was it certified? We are suing Letitia James and the New York State Board of Elections for a conspiracy against fundamental rights. This is not about who won. It's not about what party. It's about the fact that they don't care about your rights.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island. Glad you're in.
It's me, Joe the Box. And I'm John the Blanket with the America First Podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. The Fred Rubino Podcast. I'm James Justice. We got Stephen Ruth over here. What are we doing, Steve?
Welcome to the Patriots Podcast. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the On the Right Side podcast here at the America First Warehouse.
Welcome to Liberty's Cage, the podcast tearing down the walls of America's broken justice system.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Downey Jr. Podcast. Be free, stay free.
All right, I got you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the America First Warehouse. We have Ohio Amy and Pastor Casper. Are you guys on the line?
We are.
All right.
We are here.
Welcome to the Know Your Enemies podcast. So I understand you have a tour coming up, or you want to clue me in on exactly what you guys have planned?
Absolutely. This weekend, January 10th and 11th, we will be at the America First Warehouse with the Stay Awake America Tour. 12
All right, we
speakers,
have the Stay
music.
Awake America Tour, and this is. Do you also have Dr. Judy Mikovits, Dr. Douglas Frank, and Ivan Raiklin?
Ivan Raiklin, yes. And on with us is the Christian rock and roll star, Casper McCloud, and the Casper McCloud Band will be playing.
Nice.
Along with a couple locals.
Well, welcome to the America First Warehouse this weekend.
Thank you. We're excited.
Well, you should be. We're
excited
excited to have you.
Yeah. We're going to deliver truth, but everybody's going to come for the truth and they're going to leave with solutions. How about that?
That's awesome. We look forward to hearing it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what we'll be learning?
Well, like you mentioned, we have Judy Mikovits, who is
She's
amazing,
awesome.
patriot. Yep. So we'll be learning from experts in health and faith, education, civics. We have two different candidates, Bruce Blakeman, who's in Trump endorsed for governor of New York, hurrah, and then Greg Hatch, who is he's a candidate for congressional district number 3.
Nice.
And that is Nassau County and part of Queens. So he'll be there. Come
I
out
think that was
and see both
George
of them.
Santos's district. Is that what it is? George Santos's district?
I think so. Yeah.
Interesting. George Santos was like one of the most conservative, most consistent voters. He was actually really good for the Conservative Party and the Republicans as far as the way he voted. I don't know exactly what got him into trouble, whether it was campaign fraud or what, but it was very interesting the whole way it went down.
Yeah. Well, talking about elections, that's the number one thing in the sense of urgency for the Stay Awake America Tour, because we are winning. There's been great, numerous wins, even as early as, today with Trump endorsing RFK Jr.'s a suggestion to reduce the childhood vaccination from 72 down to 11. Then we have winning with Venezuelan President Maduro getting captured. But the sense of urgency is the midterms. We are right in the middle and the thick of it all. If we lose any House or Senate, all of the progress that we have made, all of the winnings that President Trump has done, will be lost. It could be disintegrated. We could all be in jail. They'll try to impeach Trump again. Yeah, all of us, domestic
I definitely believe that they will
terrorists.
try to impeach him again. If the Republicans lose either the House or the Senate, we're in deep trouble. But at the same time, it is what it is. This is nothing new. We knew what to expect. I mean, I think that in order to keep that from happening, he may need to start another war. And whether it be Venezuela or take Greenland or whatever, maybe I don't know.
I would say the war in the machines. How about let's throw out the machines. That's a good war for me.
I mean, we've been preaching for a while now that we need a digital bill of rights. We need protection from AI. There's no doubt that AI can crack all of our codes and break into our bank accounts while we're sleeping. So basically, we need some kind of digital bill of rights. I agree with you 1,000% there. Back up the AI.
Correct. And these machines, I believe Trump is a master marketer and master businessman. And there's so much Trump derangement syndrome out there. It doesn't matter if your grandma has gotten killed in front of you and Trump says, look, they're going to say, I don't see it. So I think my belief is he's going to allow Maduro as a whistleblower to enlighten the truth to the public. And that truth is Venezuelan. They stole our elections. They started a company in Venezuela with Chavez.
Dominion voting machines, right?
Dominion Ministry. The Dominion, Sequoia, Smartmatic, Dominion bought Sequoia. The code was already in there. The votes were changed in Serbia. I mean, it's been laid out. We have whistleblowers. We have a Venezuelan whistleblower that is in New York in the prisons. He's written a letter directly to President Trump. He knows what's going on. He's a master marketer. I believe, he's going to allow Maduro to tell us the truth. And that is that our elections are rigged and that we are going to secure our elections. And that's how we are going to win the midterms. Trump won in 419 electoral votes in 2020. It was just hidden.
I believe it for sure.
No, it was really 3 o'clock in the morning. Everyone changed their mind.
Well,
I mean, I think we're at a time
in
history that's, we've been forewarned about in biblical prophecies, for example, in what's going on with digital IDs and global transhumanist psychopaths wanting to be able to track what you buy, what you say, what you'll be allowed to say, where you go. And if you do anything that doesn't meet their approval, they have the means to just switch you off. I mean, look what's happened to England.
Absolutely.
UK.
Now you're past the
same
Casper,
thing
right?
is happening in New York, right? Because you can almost call it New Yorkistan in certain areas now. In the
So
city,
you're Pastor Casper?
Yes, I am.
Well, Pastor Casper, it's a pleasure to speak with you today, and welcome to the show. Know your enemies.
To be here with you.
Thank you.
So we're trying to bring information because as a pastor, I recognize traveling around different countries as well. Most churches are not telling you any of this stuff.
No, they don't.
They
They
won't
avoid
even talk
that.
to you about it. They're so afraid of offending anybody with the modern church. I mean, the Lord offended so many people that crucified him. So
Right.
I think we really need to be looking at what's going on here. And even with the chemtrails being revealed right now, the air is being poisoned. It's going into the water and the food sources, and here we are. The Lord has preserved us.
I know.
Right now.
We were hoping that Donald Trump would address that. Nobody in his administration has addressed it. They won't even say the word chemtrail. Lee Zeldin, who was appointed to the position of chairman of the EPA, won't even say the word chemtrail. I don't know. It's been very, very discouraging watching them spray poison over our children every single day. And meanwhile, I mean, you go to Mexico on vacation, they don't have it. It doesn't happen there. And same thing with Costa Rica. You go to Costa Rica, it doesn't happen there. But you go to Florida, and it happens all over Florida. It happens all over New York, in the most densely populated areas. So there's still a large part of society doesn't even know what we're talking about. And if they did, they'd call us conspiracy theorists and would write us off as crazy.
Explain that one, right? Because conspiracy theory was a construct of the CIA to discredit your research.
Right. With John F. Kennedy.
It's one of the best propaganda phrases out there. It just shuts down conversations. There's no more critical thinking skills, no logic necessary, no reasoning. They're just going to just shut it off.
And that's how they got everybody to take the jab. They said either you're a conspiracy theorist or you won't trust the science.
I mean, I saw a study earlier where something like, I could be wrong about the number, but it was like 20 million people had been, affected and died from this injection that was safe and effective.
And billions in adverse reactions, correct?
Right.
Yep.
And then I think it's really concerning, as much as I do support President Trump, obviously, but when, last year in January he took office, what did he do the first day? He's there with Larry Ellison and Machina Saul, the Sam Altman talking about this artificial intelligence, Stargate formation. And I think it's really disturbing. I've looked at things that Larry Ellison said, like your body will be transmitting that the police will be on their best behavior because they'll constantly be recording recording everything you say. And then your citizens will be on their best behavior because we'll be constantly reporting everything that's going on. This sounds rather surpassing Orwellian, society to me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We expected protections
we got to be
from
understanding what's happening. And a lot of times what happens in the UK comes here. So that's why I'm so passionate to war in America while there's still time to pray, because I believe prayer is one of the most powerful tools God has given us.
I agree 1,000%. 1,000%. We were all hoping for protections from this social credit score, total surveillance state, and I don't think we nearly were given any of the protections we were hoping for between Palantir and, like you said, Larry Ellison and.
Why are these people even in this position today? And it's like only was like this past September, the current Prime Minister, the Fabians. Keir Starmer, went out and said, announcing free digital, ID mandatory. You won't be able to work unless you've got this digital ID. And millions of people from my tribe are protesting in the streets, but you're not going to see it on the media. They're not going to show it on the news.
Well, if you remember during COVID, when COVID first took place, the country that was most strict and most locked down to make everyone force the vaccinations was Israel, and they own all of the news media networks, so they're not going to let us know over here what's going on over in England about any protesting, that's for sure. Same thing with France with the yellow vest protests. We never saw any of that here.
Yeah, that's why we are the news. That's why your show is so important, because we are the news and we are getting out the truth. We're boots on the ground, journalists, digital soldiers.
Absolutely. All right, so we'll be right back, and thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
You've worked hard and saved, but inflation and increased money supply are eroding your buying power. Protect and grow your wealth with physical gold and silver. Sound Money. With a Sound Money wallet, your wealth stays in your control. Buy fractionally, vault securely, ship directly, and instantly liquidate your gold and silver at the highest buyback price in the industry. Real money, real ownership. Visit tafwsoundmoney.info or scan the QR code and start securing your financial future today.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic, America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA store.
Live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island. Glad you're in.
Corporate transfer. Fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with Pastor Casper and Ohio Amy. Right?
Hello. Great to be back.
All right,
so
guys.
appreciate you having us on.
Our pleasure.
And
on January 10th and 11th, when you guys are going to be here at the America First Warehouse, what time does that event begin?
at 9 a.m. each morning until 8 p.m. So two full days of
Wow.
over 17 speakers, nationally known.
Amazing.
And amazing music. Casper McCloud Band, they're a Christian rock band. Casper McCloud is amazing. He's played with all the great guitarists.
Well, Pastor McCloud, you also remind me of David Icke.
Yeah. Okay.
Champion. David Icke is a veteran. So back to the chemtrails. Are you guys surprised to see so much spraying over Long Island?
You know, it is interesting to me because the Word of God says, like 1 Peter 4:12, dear friends, don't be surprised at the fiery trials you're going through. Is there something strange happening to you? I mean, if we study the Word of God, we see that these were prophesied to happen. And so everything that's happening right now is, I think there's an urgency because I believe the Lord Jesus, all the signs are here like never before in history to come back now. I mean, besides the chemtrails, you've got the UFO phenomena. I think the world changed imperceptibly. A significant moment in 2017 when you had Lieutenant Commander David Favor come on Tucker Carlson's show, showing formerly classified footage of UFOs, right? And then Carlson asked him, well, what are they? And he goes, well, they're not from this world, right? They're setting up this narrative. It's a managed agenda. I mean, I've been studying this stuff for years. I work with Dr. L.A. Mausoleum, a staff writer with Politics, Prophecy, Supernatural. And these are interdimensional demons. They didn't come from millions of light years away just to tell us that we got it all wrong. In fact, the Bible even says that an angel from heaven come and give you another gospel, let them be accursed. So, but we're being set up. We just had a film of disclosure. It was like 34 congressional guys coming together talking about non-biologics, owning crafts from other worlds. And Spielberg is coming out with a new film, Dave Disclosure, this summer. They're setting people up. All these kids that don't read the Bible anymore because the church stopped preaching the gospel decades ago. So they're watching the ancient alien, channels, and they're believing this propaganda.
100%. Yep. That's completely right. We're living for a time as this we were born, Esther's 4:14, and what a great time to be alive, to be a part of it, and to be part of the solutions. Casper and I are really answering God's call. This is a grassroots movement where we are traveling across the country on faith and fumes, trying to bring hope and empowering leaders, because we've gotten the truth. We know of the lies and the deceptions, but a lot of times that will paralyze people. They won't know, okay, how can I make a difference? How can, what do I do? This is bigger than me. But that's what we're bringing. We're bringing truth with solutions of how you can empower your community. First, take back our homes. We've got an educator that's coming to speak, and he actually has the blueprints of how to start your own home. How to start your own homeschool, how to start your own school. And if you just want it for your child or your neighborhood or your cousins or your church or community, those are the people that we're bringing together. Dr. Judy Mikovich, she will tell you how to take back your health. We don't need all these institutions. Just like Casper said, it's a narrative. They're blindsiding us. They are gaslighting us. They're trying to tell us that we are not empowered. Well, we know we're empowered because we were built in the image and likeness of God and Jesus Christ, our Savior. So we have everything we need. We just need each other. So my new catchphrase is, let's unite in 26, because we're going to blitz 2026 midterms. The midterm is what it's all about. We have to unite. We have enough of power together. And the division, when you see division, you know that division and chaos come from the devil. And that's exactly what they're trying to do with the MAGA movement, with the Maha movement, with the Patriot movement. They want division because they fear us. They know us, we the people, united with the truth, can bring about the restore of our republic. And
so
that's
do you
what
think
it
this
is all about.
administration will address the chemtrails?
And chemtrails. Why not? Zeldin, he just defined it differently than what we want to say chemtrails. He's like geoengineering. But what I've learned is it goes back to the midterms. We got to win the House and the Senate. We need legislation because Tennessee and Florida, they've passed, no chemtrails.
Right.
But the jurisdiction only is 3,000 feet above. So 3,000 feet above, okay, they've got jurisdiction, but everything above that is federal. So again, that's why we need the midterms. We need to write legislation. So unfortunately,
you need those constitutional sheriffs as well for the places that still
Yes.
have sheriffs in place, because if they're going to uphold the Constitution or not, that's another major one.
I
people
think that
don't know
most of
about.
these planes are taking off and landing on regular Air Force bases. I could be wrong. They could be commercial airliners. I'm not really
Some
sure.
of them have been shown to be commercial airlines as well, and there's some pilots that have come forth now that are dying because they've been spraying this poison for such a long time,
Really?
getting paid a lot. They look for pilots that have no families, no one to answer to. So, I mean, these are very dangerous times. But I was just remembering Mary Queen of Scots had once said something to the effect of she feared John Knox, the evangelist, in his prayers more than all the armies of Europe. Which is why they stopped in 2020 when they shut down the world. They didn't want churches meeting. They didn't want people coming together, operating in the Holy Spirit and praying against the nefarious agendas.
Absolutely. The mission of the Stay Awake America Tour is to unite, engage, and activate local action for national impact, all for the glory of God. Because without God, we're powerless. And that's what we want to, just like you said, the powers in the prayer. We're at a spiritual war against good and evil, and the prize are our souls. We're also in an information war. Not everybody is getting the same information, aka the truth, the Word of God, and that's where our power lies. President Trump can't do this alone. The creation of the Reawake America, or the Stay Awake America tour, came from a conversation after the Reawake America, and President Trump was already in office. General Flynn and Casper McCloud spoke, and their greatest concern was people going back to sleep, thinking, okay, President Trump is in office, we've elected him, we can go back to our lives. And we know that's that's furthest from the truth. There's not one man until Jesus Christ comes back that can save us. But President Trump needs us. He needs our prayers first. He needs our support loud and clear, just like you're doing with your news and your podcast. But he ultimately needs our action, local action, national impact. And we can do that. We can win the midterms. We can locally get engaged, and whatever your talents, passions, and treasures are, that's how you can get involved. First, your homes. We've got to take back our homes, our education, our health, and then we can work out from there. President Trump wrote wonderful executive orders, but just again to do the urgency of how important the midterms are, those can be dissolved if they're not legislated. So we need these EOs legislated, America First values legislated, and that goes back to the midterms. So each and every one of us have talents, passions, and gifts that we need to engage in. We need to unite, engage, and activate. No longer is this a spectator sport. No longer is it let somebody else do the job. We have the job to do. Each and every one of us can be powerful, and it doesn't matter. Everything is part of winning. It's like a tapestry, a puzzle piece.
Everyone
and if we
plays
have
a
one
role
puzzle
in God's
piece
plan.
missing,
It's
then
like after President Trump got elected, a lot of professing Christians are acting like prophecy was put on hold. It went on a holiday. I mean, these things are unraveling right in front of us. Ancient prophecies being fulfilled right in front of us today. And we're being set up like the UN's Agenda 2030 for the bringing the beastly marking system.
What did you think when that U.S. airman lit himself on fire in front of the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C.?
it was a travesty. It's a travesty, but it's also a narrative. It's to give us fear and cause chaos, and to actually get us to freeze. If we would unite, there's going to be sorrow, but we're at war, and there is going to be casualties in war.
It sounds sort of like what happened with JFK and the Twin Towers and Charlie Kirk's. I mean, they could have assassinated them in a quiet place where nobody knew about it, right? Discover it afterwards. They wanted to inflict as much fear. God did not give us a spirit of fear, but when the masses of people are in fear, they're much more easily manipulated. And this is, of course, coming from the Tavistock Institute.
100%.
Well, guys, It's been a pleasure to have you on the show. We look forward to seeing you and meeting you on Saturday and Sunday. And it starts at 9 a.m., you said, right here at the America
9
First
a.m.
Warehouse.
on Saturday, and you can get your tickets and register at stayawakeamerica.com.
StayAwakeAmerica.com. So,
Easy.
guys, please tune in. Go on StayAwakeAmerica.com and reserve your tickets or purchase your tickets for this Saturday and Sunday's event, the Stay Awake America Tour, and that will be at StayAwakeAmerica.com.